Alright guys, this is it. ProSide Productions is giving you the final round, the back 9 of the Buckhorn 2020, presented to you by CADL. We got some other sponsors in there, Fly Guy, Kirsch Lending, Peterman Realty. This is going to be hole 10. We're skipping hole 9 because there's a little bit of flooding.
Philip Bartholomew here again with Carlos Zantana. They took out hole 9. It's a little flooded right now, and we're just going to skip over to hole 10, and then we're going to skip hole 11 after that. Both of those holes play close to the water's edge, and the water's a little bit high right now. So here's hole 10.
On this card, we got Philip Bartholomew,
Taylor Rafaleowski, Brad Ramsey, and Sean Gough. Hey. Always feels good to make a putt. Here's Sean throwing. So the back 9, I'm playing pretty hot. Taylor has cooled off a little bit. Brad's just trying to get through the round, and he's trying to make a push at the end to see if he can finish in the top 3 to 5 spots. Same with Sean. We're gonna have a nice battle. There's gonna be some guys sneaking up from chase card on the last few holes. I might find that out. See what happens. Here's hole 10, 287 feet. It's a water carry. It's playing a little bit of a headwind. I'm gonna throw a Raptor here, a Z Raptor.
I think the play on this would definitely be a driver. I don't know if you can. I mean, you could do a mid-range. You could power through.
I threw Malta the first 2 rounds.
Oh, okay.
And it just didn't really work out for me very well. Actually, it was only the first round because the second round I went to the Raptor. Or no, that's not true. We played the short 1 round. So I threw Malta, and then this was my second time playing it. Here's Brad, probably throwing a driver as well. And the driver just plays nice. You don't have to throw it too hard. You just snap it right over the water, and it carries right in. The miss is going high left, and that's what me and Brad have both done here pretty well. Some people throw a higher shot, but some people like to throw a more direct shot at this hole.
I like the high hyzer. A little safe, but it just depends on the wind. You got to read that really well.
Yep, and here's Taylor throwing the low shot, and it's coming right. Oh my gosh. That was going to take your head off.
Yeah, that one was going straight towards me. Veteran though, so I know when to stay and when to.
I mean, you were very brave
get out of the way.
Stay there. And here's Sean. He's got a driver in the hand. He's looking to correct from the last round. He threw a rock and just held onto it a little too long. He's got the driver on hyzer. And to me, it looks like it's going to be just fine.
Coming in long and on the backside, definitely safe, and it looks like he's going to have a nice even putt right towards the basket. Maybe
footer is pretty good on this hole.
Maybe that tree a little bit in the way.
He's going to have to straddle down the hill. It's going to be interesting footing, but the distance to the basket isn't too bad. Taylor's up first from about 23, 25 feet.
Looks like his feet is in the water almost.
Almost. Inbounds nonetheless. See if we can capitalize on that. And just low again. The little tailwind coming off that water.
That looked great. Good line.
Here's Sean getting ready with his footing here. Interesting straddle. 1 foot high up the hill and the other foot flat. Let's see how he handles that.
I always wonder what's better. 1 foot low, depending on where you plan your, place and where the putting mark is.
Handles it well. And it just depends. Some places you feel super comfortable, and other places you just feel like you can't get comfortable at all. So he got comfortable there and scooped up a pretty easy birdie, it looked like. And I've got about 20-ish feet. Looking at the water, I'm not really scared of the water. I don't know what I'm scared of now.
Look at that shot, though. Water right in the background.
Oh,
he cans it.
No matter how good it is.
That was pretty funny.
Nice cameo.
And here's Brad from about 15 feet. This should be light work for this guy.
Nice and routine. Looked easy.
Taylor's going to tap in for a par.
Hole 12.
That's a hole there.
Hole 12, 297 feet. This one is going to be a little bit of an uphill shot and to the right. I think it's another flick shot. I mean, you can do either way for sure, but
Yep.
definitely
And so,
tailored towards the flick.
Skip an 11 going to 12, and I think this is definitely a flick hole. It can be a backhand, like you said, but it's so hard to get that backhand line. The tee pad, the way that it's aiming down the fairway, and how far upright you go, it's a natural forehand. And I'm naturally yanking a forehand.
I thought you almost made it through.
That was pulled way left. And see, obviously, I think that at the moment as well.
All right.
Here's Brad looking to correct on that. You want to go down the middle of the fairway, so not to the left, and then just skip all the way up the hill, keeping it on hyzer the whole way. He does that beautifully.
Comes up about 80 feet.
And we're going to see Sean through the backhand. But this is a great hole to see how good of a forehand you really have. Because if you can make it all the way up there to the right, up that hill, I mean, that's a pretty fantastic forehand.
I agree. It says 297 feet, but it feels like 350 every time you push it up
Absolutely.
that hill. Because you got to push it
plays
forward.
350.
Yeah.
And that hill, that tree that Sean just hit, that's the tree you want to go just left of, and then you skip way up right. And there's a little inside gap about 15 feet wide to the right of that kind of spider tree.
It's nice to hit that line every once in a while.
And Taylor looks like he goes right around that tree and skips on up to the basket. And I've got about over 100 feet, maybe 140 feet. This is all uphill.
Got a nice gap towards it, though.
The Luna up there, just a little long. Kind of scratching my head because when I let go of that, I was like, wow, I threw that so hard. Like, why did I throw that so hard? It didn't look like it, but it felt like it. And when I went deep, it just kind of like set in. Like, maybe we need to calm down.
Sometimes
Be
you
more
wanna
accurate.
commit and gives you a
Committed
little
hard.
extra, little extra.
Sean committed well there, and he's putting it right near the basket. Brad's got a look from about 40 feet.
Your jump pot.
Just a little shy, going up the hill.
From the knee, this is gonna be difficult. Around the tree.
About circle's edge from the knee. This is going to be good. I have a feeling. Trying to find that right grip.
Inside to the left.
Inside, not the pro side, but a good bid nonetheless.
Yeah, that was
Definitely
tough.
an interesting putt.
Is that tree in the way?
No trees in the way, just a basket right in the way. Looking to put it in there, and just a little low.
Damn.
And it wasn't bad. It felt good. It was just low, and it nubbed off, and that happens. You know, I feel like I miss a 20-footer every round until I'm playing like a super hot round. You just have a little goof, and it's unfortunate, but it's true.
Sean and Taylor wrapping up their pars, along with Brad and Phil finishing up with the par session.
I'm gonna take a bogey.
No
actually.
bogey.
Yeah.
Oh
I know.
man.
Brad, in that striped shirt back there, he's looking real disappointed in me right now. He's just like, Phil.
As every caddy should. They expect the world.
That's right. So looking to improve on hole 13. It's 234 feet up this hill. It seems like a common theme. You're throwing a lot of left to right shots in this course.
Definitely. But
This is
not
a great backhand hole, though.
not easy flicks. I mean, all of them are very difficult.
No, this is like a backhand soft turnover that's kind of panning flat up the hill. So, not your favorable forehand hole by any means.
I agree.
Brad's going a little early there. You want to go left of that first tree on the right that kind of has that weird...
Bend to it.
Yep. And it looked like he got a kick off of a tree over there. Not a great one. It's going to be an interesting upshot from there.
Mm-hmm.
We've got Sean up, throwing a rock.
Also backhand. This time it looks like he came
He
out
got-
early.
Yeah, he catches a sapling over there on the left side and just smacks straight down.
All right, nobody's penetrated yet. Let's see if Taylor can do it after seeing those two shots.
Yep, and the idea is you want to throw it pretty much straight at the trees right in front of you, all the skinny trees on the left, and let something turn over into it. And a lot of times you'll see this shot that just sneaks up there, And that's a good shot. I mean, that one's about 50 feet away, but you can do that same shot and get within the circle or 30 feet, which is not a bad play at all.
Definitely birdieable though.
And it keeps it safe for most of it, although you're throwing it into trees. But the trees are very close to the basket. And I kind of did the same thing and threw it up there about 35 feet. Sean with a bit of a hairy up shot. Looking straight at it, but still that gap is a bit daunting every time you look at it.
He goes a little bit long. Definitely within putting reach though. Brad's up next. Looks like he's going to have to do an Annie. Gets around some trees and gets it within 10 feet.
That's amazing. And here's Taylor. He got all the way up there. Looking to cash in a nice outside of the circle putt. Oh, and he just keeps finding that same spot on the cage. It just looks like he's not getting it up enough. This one's about 35-ish feet. And I think I've got a pretty decent straddle going on here, going around some of these trees. And like Taylor did earlier,
nice.
I'm gonna do it later in the round. I'm gonna trust it right around the tree and hyzer it in.
Another ProSide shot.
That's a ProSide production special right there.
All right, Sean's going up next.
And banging in a solid par save from down in almost jail.
Yeah, that's a rough spot to be in.
Tester putt. That's a kind of a good hole, even though it was a par.
He's having some really good scramble putts for sure.
Yes.
That's helping him out.
He had eggs this morning for breakfast. Taylor's disappointed with that.
All right, hole 14. Yep, hole 14, 240 feet. This one is kind of downhill to the right.
It's a left to right forehand hole for you.
Basically, I like this. Nice mid-range, or you can do a driver. I like to do the Nate Sexton or Cayman.
Okay,
but
and I'm throwing like a Raptor or a Zone.
Yeah.
Let's see. We're playing from the longs here, so it's most likely a Raptor. It's that purple Z Raptor I got. And, well, that made it look like I didn't anything. That was a perfect shot by me, and we're going to keep going.
All right.
I definitely threw it. Basically...
a little wide, but...
Well, yeah, I went left of one of those trees down there on the left. Kind of the first one you see poking out into the fairway on the left. So, lucky shot, but I'll take it.
Brad came in a little bit early and hit some high trees, but I think he'll be within putting reach from there. It's going to be at least 60 or 70 feet, though.
Absolutely. And here's Sean with the rare forehand.
Quick and low.
Just taking it a little inside, sawing it off a little too much.
Mm-hmm.
And he's going to be trying to get up and down from there from probably almost about 100 feet.
You want to get another like 20 feet, 10 to 20 feet before you make that bend, yeah.
And here's Taylor. Taylor's really, like I said earlier, he's a forehand specialist. So smooth, so effortless. And I mean, look at this.
Makes the adjustment, pushes a little bit forward.
This is beautiful.
And that's what you want, a skip and a land.
Yep.
Right there.
Throwing a fairway
5 feet
or
away.
Driver speed, 9 speed, 10 speed disc.
Control your speed. That's the hard part.
Just super, super controlled. Brad lays up from about 100 feet. Maybe a little less. And Sean's doing the same. Maybe.
Looks like they were in
60 or 70 out.
similar spots.
And it's tricky over there when you've got a couple trees right in front of you and you have to bend your disc around like 2 or 3 more trees. That's an interesting shot going down the hill as well.
And yeah, make sure once again you don't put too much of an angle on it.
Too happy about that. Leaving himself with what?
20 footer.
Yeah, at least, right? That's not what you want on this hole. But let's see if he can tackle this one like the last hole. No problem.
Nice.
I like his putt. He always full commits, and then right at the end he's like, uh-oh. But he makes it. It's all about commitment.
Agreed. All right, Phil.
Let's see if I can get this. This is a good luck birdie. When you get a little bit of luck, you got to take advantage of it. I had a friend of mine tell me that. It doesn't matter if you deserve it. It's a matter if you get it.
Yep.
So, thanks, Jeremy Coleman, for giving me that. Gotta appreciate what you get. And Brad and Sean are appreciating pars, even though they had a not so great shot, and Taylor just showed us how it's done on that hole. Here we are on hole 15. Interesting way to say it. But this is hole 15 at Buckhorn. It's 228 feet. You're throwing straight at this basket on top of a hill. There's a little bit of erosion area in front of the basket that players cannot step on. So if you land there, you play it directly behind the disc, the bottom of the hill, and then there's a pond right behind the basket, about 4 feet. So all of us are throwing it at the erosion and then just seeing what happens.
Basically, where you want to be at. Going long or at the basket, it's really tricky and really touchy. You don't want to go long because it's definitely an OB stroke, and like you said, it's right behind there.
That rock that we're looking at right there, if you get it to there and 10 feet right of that, sliding up the hill, golden. Anywhere in there is a good putt. Taylor's throwing a nice soft forehand and a little turned over.
A little bit tuned, nose down.
When the razor claw just came out. And
is that what he threw?
Yes, and it was a baseline one, and it just they weren't as stable as like, you know, for me, like a Z zone and a jawbreaker zone is very different. They fly one's way more straight than the other.
Whoa! Oh my gosh!
Wow.
Brad Ramsey goes for the basket and just hits right underneath there. That is nuts.
That is nuts.
That's a lot of control right there, and
Absolutely.
he looked like he had a pure line.
Yeah, and so, but what I was saying is he's got a. It's like a baseline, and this is the play right here. This is the play right here. You just throw it right at the hill.
Looks like he tried to use Brad's line right afterwards.
It's rolling away.
Oh no, really? That's not too bad. I mean, well, you do have water right after that, so if you're going to put a lot of power and try and go for it, you have a lot of room for error right there. So.
And so you can see Taylor, he laid it up to the bottom of the hill. And he's just going to take his putt from right behind where there's a little yellow rope for the erosion spots.
Oh, and that's what I was talking about. So there's that water so close to the basket. And that's unfortunate because that was probably a really good line. I couldn't tell from that side, but it looked like it had the height.
Yep. And so right here, right before I had to make this putt or lay it up or whatever you want to do, my caddy, Brad, he found some news out that Raven was actually beating me at this point. And that was a kind of a run. That was a run.
So you were like, I got to go for it? Oh, my.
I don't know if I knew if I wanted to go for it, but I felt like I had to.
Okay.
And when I threw it, I didn't give it enough. And I'm like, oh, thank God.
It was safe because after seeing that, man, after that just happened. All right, so Taylor's up next.
He's in the lead right now. Raven is.
Gotcha.
By at least one, maybe two.
Good shot, Taylor.
And that's a good way to clean up the par there.
So right now he's in the lead.
Yep. So he's beating me. Everyone else, I think, we're from here on, what it looks like on lead card is what it looks like from 1 through 5. But and we're discussing where he went out at, and we're hoping that one of the cameramen was like, oh, it came out right here. I saw it.
I was paying attention to other things.
There you are, right there with your camouflage and all that good stuff. And so he figured it out. I don't think Sean got his disc back, unfortunately, and that's his main black Banger GT that he putts with he's been putting with for countless years.
True. Anybody sees that, let me know. ProSide Productions.
I'm gonna tap in for par, and not disappointed that I didn't get that, but just so the vibe definitely changed. Right when I found out that I was back 2, I'm like, okay, well I have to figure something out. At least that's what I thought at the moment.
All right. That was smart to go for it. Really, really scary putt. So that took a lot.
Yes, it was. Here's hole 16. We're gonna play it from the shorts. 243 feet. It's just a tunnel shot, straight at the basket. This is a beautiful hole.
I'm glad that y'all were playing from the shorts. That longs is that.
It's just a little. It's not even fluky. It's just not fun. This is a fun hole.
That 90-degree turn is tough.
Yeah, but that takes 2 good placement shots. So this is just 1 good placement shot, and Brad's gonna throw it first. He doesn't flip the disc up all the way, and so that stump that he just hits about 30-35 away from the basket.
It's actually a good thing to aim for, just around that area.
You just want to turn just right of it, and you're fading right into it, and you'll probably slide right up under the basket. I've got the white Nate Doss Challenger here. We've seen it before in previous rounds. We're going to see it again. Just a nice flippy putter, and it does that every time.
It's nice to have a disc like that in your bag.
Yep.
It's hard to find in premium plastic, I'm finding out.
And so the Nate Doss Challengers, the first and second edition, they are a baseline plastic, but they just have a different feel to them.
Yeah.
They hold up and they do that and they feel great.
I do like it.
Here's Taylor looking to throw some type of putter from Discmania.
And he just slides it right up there.
That's the play right there.
That works out.
Got about 25 feet left on that. It looks a little closer than it is, I think, but maybe I'm wrong.
I think it's about right.
I think that's pretty close. It looked like he got near the stump. And here's Sean with another banger shot.
Looks like it's fading a little bit out.
Goodness, and he hits one little stick and it
Yeah.
had a little reaction.
Maybe could have used a couple more feet up front.
And yeah, he's going to have a circle's edge putt as well.
All right, Brad's up first with the furthest away, and he takes
A little bit low.
a little bit lower shot.
Circle's edge, like I said, same thing with Sean. He's got 28, 30 feet, somewhere in there. And this would be a really good birdie right now. Ooh. And he's still within striking position of Taylor for third place, because Raven's already locked in. He's almost solidified second place.
Oh.
He's at 26 or 27 under right now. I don't remember. And that's what was tricking me up during the round. Here's Taylor. About 23 feet, 24 feet. Not a problem.
That looked easy.
And Taylor's making a push for it too right now. He's got to. We've got 4 holes left, or 3 holes left.
Clutch time.
This is time to clutch up. It's now or never, right?
Two birdies, 2 bars. Next hole is hole 17. This one is the one that's most notable at Buckhorn. This is the over the water shot, one of the longest holes out here. We're shooting from the 330 feet marker. It's still really difficult to try and make that decision to go over. There's a lot at stake, and it's super
tight gap.
It's a super tight gap.
Out of water.
There's a
all the way.
little bit of high brush, so you can't just rock it above or do a thumber or anything that easily.
It's almost funny how it looks right here, because it makes it look you're carrying a good 250 feet before you get to the water.
Yeah, that was probably about a 70, 80 foot shot right now, and you got about another
60.
That
was probably a good 130, 150
So
shot.
deceiving.
It's so deceiving. But seriously, it was at least 150 feet.
So traveling just to that point and then going across the water, which is another 200 feet or something like that.
Yep.
It's just nuts.
Yep, the water carrier on the back end, and look at Taylor. He's just sending it.
Whew.
And he skips up onto the bank. That's incredible. But that's the play. You throw a driver low and just let it work. But if you come to Buckhorn and you play this hole, it does not look like this when you're looking at it.
Yep.
This looks almost like an easy hole.
Agreed. Oh man, yeah, it takes
And I'm playing the layup every time. And these guys are just going for it. Good for them.
This is a game-changing hole for sure. If you want to make a point, you go for it.
Yeah, and that's exactly right. And I've also been in the situation where you go for it and you lose all your marbles. So play it safe and hopefully. And look at Sean. He's just going to jump putt. A downhill 120-foot jump putt. So, and that works. That's fine.
There it is. There's a good view of the length. You got to go down towards the water.
Yeah, look how small I look up there. It's a couple 100 feet away. And then we've got, so this is probably another 200 feet to the basket.
But this is an ideal shot. Nothing in your way, no trees, no bushes on your legs.
Yeah, because a lot of people will try some crazy stuff and hit a tree and have be in a pickle, basically.
Basically, that's when you screw up. You try and go for it, and
you know how many times I get a 3 on this hole?
Yeah, it happens.
That's a good score for me. I feel like, unless you need a 2, I'm probably going for a 3. And Sean's feeling the same way, showing his backhand skills off.
looks
Get
like
up
it.
there.
Oh man, it just grabs onto the edge. I mean, that looks like it was gonna go in the water.
Yeah, and that's a fortunate break for Sean. And let's see if he can capitalize on that and walk away with a par on a pretty difficult par 3. Sails it a little bit. Alright, we've got Brad down here with about just outside 20 feet. No problem.
Man,
And that
great
just looks
birdie.
like Brad Ramsey right there. It's just so nonchalant. He's birdieing all the time. And this round hasn't showed that. He's playing consistent, getting pars, but he's a birdie machine, I'm telling you.
That's an incredible shot from there. Taylor as well, and he puts it in like it's nothing.
Like it's nothing. Two players in the North Carolina
Oh, there's
area
a basket.
that you always
Bam.
have to watch out for. Then we got Sean looking to clean up a bogey. A little bit disappointing, missing high, coming back for the par, but let's see if he can get it done with the sun in his face.
That's hard to focus after that. I know.
Oh,
no. Okay.
Well, and you know what, guys? This happens, and I'm over there helping my friend get his disc out of the water. I love that guy. And he reaches
That's
in
good
with his right
teamwork with
hand.
everybody right there.
Yeah,
Look at that.
Exactly.
Whole squad's helping out.
Literally. And so, I mean, what an experience he's having right now. And he's got a wet right hand. He just pulled his putter out. And it's a new putter. This is a putter that he just lost his main putter.
Oh
2
yeah,
holes
the
ago.
black one on the left.
So, he's just having a time right now, and it's unfortunate. Hopefully that one's close enough. You just stick it in there and get off of this hole. Then he's happy to be gone. Alright, so here I am, just after all that. Now I gotta make this 20-footer, and I'm not sure where I'm at. I think I'm like 1 or tied, one off the lead tied. I don't know where I'm at, but I think I know.
It doesn't matter. This hole is all that's important right now. You got to make this. You got to keep that
right now
lead.
to stay in the loop.
Suspense.
And he looked at me and said, you can putt before, and I was just dude, we were over there for a good 10
nose
minutes
down.
almost, like, just getting disc and everything. It felt like
The cage-
probably wasn't that long.
The cage wasn't even a factor.
It's in. There's no picture on the scorecard. We got a video, unfortunately, but hey.
All right, hole 18.
It's 282 feet. It's playing a little bit further than that. It's playing uphill. I think it plays more like 315 feet.
Yeah, I would say a little over 315. That's a good call.
Yeah, and so, but the idea is that you want to play a low driver around the trees in the middle and just skip right up to the basket.
Straight hyzer the whole way on the right side or inside, as long as you can hyzer to flat, but
You're
nothing.
throwing like a 250-foot hyzer with the driver and letting it skip like another 50 to 75 feet.
Mm-hmm.
And
but he's
was cruising right there.
still got a good putt at it. Looks
Yep.
like he's about 30, 40 feet away.
Yep,
Circle
maybe
one.
a little deceiving. It could be a little longer than that, but
Sure.
yeah, it's close to 60-ish feet maybe. Brad, it's got a driver in his hand.
Took the outside route.
This is the shot. You're gonna want to throw it around the right side and just skip up the
Skip.
basket.
Oh, that's beautiful.
Right. So he,
Where
he's
is
got a 25 footer there. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a great shot. That's a great shot. Just filtering through those trees. I'm just trying to get out of my head right here.
What are you using?
This is a Raptor, and the prior day of throwing this short pad just didn't work out well for me. I actually took a bogey, so I'm trying to conquer that. Don't think about that, and it's hard not to think about, but I just try to throw a nice smooth hyzer and skip it up there. Pulled it right, and now we go through the motions. What's gonna happen, and you start replaying that day before.
Yeah.
You can't do
Oh,
that,
goodness.
but it happens. It does. All right, now we got Sean.
Had a little stick in the way.
And this is looking pretty good.
Takes the outside route as well. I can't tell if that flattens out.
Oh, yep, and hanging out with Brad over there.
Nice.
kicking off a tree inside the circle. And so this is almost an identical upshot I had to the round we played the longs. Just a little closer. And I'm like, just get it up there. And I do a little better this time. I don't come up short. I get it right to the basket, pin high, a little bit right.
Should be pretty easy putt.
Should be pretty routine.
And Taylor, oh no!
Out.
Oh, on the left side.
That would have been a big putt to make right there.
He is not happy about that.
And let's see if Brad and Sean can clean up these gray drives, put them in the circle.
Great putt, man.
Looking like Brad Ramsey to me. Oh.
No way, man.
Well, that's unfortunate. That looked like a bit of a cut through to me. And this is what I'm talking about. It's a 15-foot putt. You know what I mean? It's a little bit windy.
Those are the worst.
But all
Those are the
this
worst.
stuff that happens the day before, it gets in your head.
Give me a 20-footer over a 10-footer.
I mean,
any day,
right? But got it home, got the par. But I'm telling you, I'm being honest. That's what was in my head right there, and not the whole round, but just right in that moment and knowing how close you are. But
so in that situation, when you start thinking about that, what do you do real quick?
Well, I mean, at the moment right there, I thought that I was one back still.
Mm-hmm.
Or tied for the. I thought I was tied for the lead.
So that would have put you ahead.
One up, but one ahead. So I thought I was tied at this.
So now you got to do something on that.
So now
This
I gotta
next
birdie
hole.
this, or I'm going into a playoff.
Okay.
That's what's in my brain.
Okay.
This is what my caddy Brad told me.
That's a good caddy if he was deceiving you.
Yeah, I mean, you know what? He played it off like.
Did he?
Hey,
Was that the deal?
what's that? All right, here's hole P.
Okay.
This is the practice hole.
Ay.
Making up for hole 11. So hole 0 made up for hole 9, and then this practice hole is making up for hole 11. Throwing down this path, and it's about 280 feet, and then one nice skip to the basket.
Played that perfectly. Yeah, you just
Seems
want
like we're all throwing drivers here.
Yeah, you just want to throw it down the path. You know, a certain amount of distance was like 200 feet, and then just let it cut in after that with the hyzer.
This hole doesn't seem like
Shouldn't be.
throwing it too far, but it does seem kind of long. And right, this is my point. He threw a FD3, and he threw it long, but the hole's not that long. It just feels long.
Sure.
I'm just saying, but it's not, because clearly, I'm going to show you right here. This is my Raptor, and I just get really flat on it.
Yeah, that's the mistake that.
And I hit that.
That's
post
the
right
mistake that you want. Yeah.
there. And so I realized, I was like, man, this hole is playing. It might almost be a mid-range.
Look at the wind though. Was there a headwind
little
on
bit
it?
of a headwind, yeah.
Okay, so
that
that can
played a
happen
factor.
easily. Yeah.
Played a factor.
If you
into
just
all
put a
of it.
little bit less power, it wouldn't have.
Yep, probably needed a little more hyzer, and it would have been perfect.
Yeah. Well, yeah, that too.
And Sean he's getting a lift off of that headwind, and it's lifting perfectly. All right, we're gonna walk down here, and here's Raven. He's the one that has shot an incredible third round, has pushed himself into first place, or what I thought was tied for first place.
Yeah, that was pretty insane.
So I'm sitting here, and I'm like, yeah, I gotta make this putt. And that's funny because everyone had live scoring, so they all know what's happening, and so they would be like, oh, he's probably gonna lay it up.
Mm-hmm.
And to me, I'm like, oh, I have to make this. This is so important, or I'm going into a playoff.
But at this point, you're already won.
Not yet, but if I get a par here, I would win.
Okay.
And so I'm like kind of running it, and it probably looks like a layup. But I swear, I was like, I need to make this, but I didn't want to hit the tree and have an unfortunate roll. So I made my best effort, and it was still just fine.
Yeah, it worked out.
Funny what happens when your caddy tells you that you're one back and you got to make a putt.
All right. Oh.
I'm just gonna lay it up. Let's see what happens.
Sean hits the basket, man. That was a good right between the trees shot.
And we're gonna look at Taylor's shot, just see where he went out of bounds at. Try to make our.
He went
best
long.
effort.
Oh yeah, I
Yep.
forgot they had
So
this
we
border on the
pulled back a
background with
little bit.
flags.
Looks like he's got this tree to contend with. And yep, that tree was right in front of his way. And now we've got Brad looking for a birdie from about 23, 25 feet. And he was just really trying to capitalize on the end of this round, get 3 birdies in a row. He's started to play well, but right at the very end, and Unfortunately, he's going to end with a par. Taylor's tapped out for bogey. That's a bitter moment for him, and Sean gets a par.
And this is it, ladies and gentlemen. The par that wins it!
And yeah, so as right before I tapped in, someone goes, "Hey, by the way, congratulations." And I said, "On what?" They're like, "You just won." I was
with a whole bunch of
like, I didn't even know. Then so giving Brad a little bit of love. Love that guy. I've known him forever, and he's a fantastic guy.
That's pretty incredible.
ProSide Productions, we appreciate it so much. Fantastic group of guys, and they put in a lot of hard work with the filming. And there's Tucker and Michael Jordan, just big shout out right there in the bottom right screen. They put in a lot of time and effort to this, so we really appreciate it. We appreciate everyone watching, commenting, liking, subscribing, and give us your feedback. This is Jofo flying the drone around. Anything you want to say, Carlos?
Yeah, basically this was a big collaborative effort with a bunch of really good and awesome players and just supportive enthusiasts. Joe Forrest was basically the heart of this, so a lot of props to him, man. He pretty much did all the cutting, all the editing, the supporting, and so we were just helping in the background mostly, so everything was definitely centered around him. Once again, we're just super happy to see everybody out here enjoying and seeing this live coverage. That's what we want to bring to you. We want to bring to you North Carolina Disc Golf. We have some awesome players out there, as you can see today, and some awesome tournaments to show you.
Here we just talked about it, and Raven got 2 aces this weekend. I think that's what I just said.
It really were wonderful, wonderful people. Phil, congratulations, man. I had a lot of fun playing. It was a good time. Yeah, so thank you guys.
Raven's a fantastic player, an up-and-comer who's really one to look out for, and he's a good friend of mine.
Philip Bartholomew.
Good guy.
Yeah, man, he had a really good performance this year.
All right, that's going to conclude it for the ProSide Productions coverage of the 2020 Buckhorn Open.
Thank you, Chris, everyone out here. Cameras, I don't know where to talk about. Thanks for getting the course ready, even though we had some water issues. I don't like 9/11 anyway, so thank you. Raven, where are you? Great playing. Thank you. You're a real up-and-comer, and I don't even want to say up-and-comer anymore because you're beating everybody. So, great job. Thank you, Discraft, for making amazing plastic. Thank you, ID Life, for keeping me going. I feel great right now. I want to go play another round. Yeah, just keep playing tournaments and keep playing.